Hi, everybody. Happy Monday to you. It is Region Weather Meteorologist Matt Wentz joining you again. I want to make this update very quick. So we're going to run our open as we normally do. We'll let some people join. But I just want to update you on what we're expecting in terms of the storm activity, not just tomorrow, but Wednesday. A lot of questions coming in regarding, hey, I'm seeing that we're supposed to have severe weather tomorrow. I got this last night too. And I was just saying, I don't really feel like tomorrow is going to be a big severe weather day for us, and I still don't feel that way. But again, we're going to have storms and they're going to be close. So I want to take you through the latest model runs, latest thinking on that. We still do have a severe weather threat, so we have to talk about that. We'll answer your questions. We'll get you out of here. This will be a special express version of Region Weather Live here. And as I mentioned, we'll run our open real quick and wait for some people to join, and then we'll get you some information. Here we go. And welcome in, everybody. Happy Monday evening to you. Hope your day has gone well. Back in the saddle here. Feels pretty good, let me be honest, because the internet's working, so there's that. Anyway, let's jump right into it. As always, want to thank our wonderful sponsors there on the left-hand side of the screen. This is a bonus broadcast for all of us, so we're going to jump right into exactly kind of what's changed here in the modeling, not just today, but what we're expecting out of this as well, all right? Want to say hi to Caitlin. Deb's with us. Deb says, get your candles ready. That's right, Deb. There's going to be some wind energy with this. Mary's with us. Mary, hope you had a nice birthday weekend. Let's see. Ron is with us. Great to see you too. Eric, Dorothy, Don Z. Appreciate that. That's our April intro. So I change them every month. Robin, Jenna, hello. Carl, for sure. Rita's with us as well. No tornado touchdown in Gary today, Rita. I don't know what that video is from. Melissa, we'll dive into it. And hello to Erica watching in Valpo. And Ann, you're welcome. And gosh, everyone's here. I can't keep up with you guys. Hello. Anyway, thanks for joining us tonight. A quick update in regards to the tornado potential, right? The tornado damage surveys, weather services done. I mentioned it last night on our Facebook page, but they did confirm that the Maryville tornado was an EF1. That's legit. Some of the damage done with that was evident that it was an EF1 tornado. They're still going to do surveys. They haven't yet. In the Hobart area, Portage, I know a lot of you have messaged in saying that, you've had some damage. What about us? And they are planning on doing a survey for you. They're going to do a survey in Valparaiso as well. They have their hands full, folks. They are out every single day, and there's a lot that they have to do to get us information on the damage, the extent, the exact path of every single storm. And so they're putting out like 12 surveys a day. There were so many tornadoes back in Illinois. So they are going to get to that. The only thing that's confirmed right now is that it was an EF1 tornado in Maryville. That's not to say that Valpo, you didn't get the same thing, or the Portage area as well. And they also confirmed that tornado down in the Fowler area that went through Remington. We talked about that yesterday. So just an update on that. They're still working on it. It'll probably be later this week. But if we get another round of severe weather, they're really going to have their hands full going into that. So again, big process, a lot of red tape they have to go through. It's government stuff. So they'll be working on that. Okay. All right. So jumping into the map here, out towards the west, this is our next system taking shape. We have this warm front that kind of extends over our area. We've been in and out of showers. We've had a little pea-sized hail in spots today with some of these showers. Most of the activity is just off towards our north, though. But again, this is the frontal boundary. It's going to kind of hang up here overnight tonight. And then out towards the west, everything kind of digging south. They've got heavy snow in Salt Lake City right now. This becomes heavy snow and a blizzard as you get into Wyoming and the Dakotas. They're expecting anywhere from 12 to 24 inches of snow. A lot of them haven't seen the ground since November. It has been a winter for them. And they're going to have another blizzard here tomorrow as this system gets developed. What we're waiting on, there's area of low pressure here. This will kind of round the base of the four corners, gather some Gulf of Mexico moisture and strengthen. It's going to take a path much like this right there towards our north and the west. And that's what we'll be watching. Storm Prediction Center, they've been really good with these forecasts. Again, this is their outlook for tomorrow. It's going to be a big day, but there's a lot of questions around this still. And notice how there's a moderate risk out towards the west. For us, it's a slight risk. I don't like the wording on this. I like words like likely and widespread. This is where your severe weather is going to be widespread. This is where it's going to be possible across our region. That's what the Storm Prediction Center is saying. And then it all kind of shifts out towards the east. This would be early in the day on Wednesday. We talked about this last night in our Region Weather Live broadcast, but you notice the trend. Everything kind of moves through us, okay? So what's the latest on this? I'm just going to start kind of with the idea around this. I mentioned yesterday, a lot of you were asking, you were saying, National Weather Service and these forecasts are going big storms tomorrow, and you're not saying anything, right? And I didn't feel, I said it's possible, but I don't feel in my gut this kind of system is going to produce a big severe weather event here locally. And I still feel that way today. I thought maybe things would change looking at the model runs. There's a lot at play in our atmosphere, and I'll show you what we're looking at here. But I really don't think this is going to be a huge event for us tomorrow. We may not even get rain tomorrow. As we get into Wednesday morning, that's what we talked about last night. I think that's really our biggest threat is Wednesday with the frontal passage. But here's what's at play tomorrow. So the storms are developing just towards our north. They'll continue to kind of rattle off tonight. Remember, we've got a boundary kind of sitting over us. It's waiting on a push from the west. So once that low rounds the base of the Four Corners region, it will take the boundary that's right over us right now, and it'll finally push it north. Until then, it's over us. And what that boundary is, it's a stationary front right now that's turning into a warm front. All that is, fancy terms, all that is air that's coming together and it's giving it reason to lift. So it creates lift in the atmosphere. So that's why these showers and storms continue to trigger towards our north, and then they kind of bubble their way down to the south tonight. So bottom line, nothing's changed in the forecast. I still think we'll have on and off downpours tonight with some thunder. Could get some small hail with these. I think our severe risk is minimal tonight. All right. Not really too concerned with that. This is the warm front working its way through. Here's where things get interesting. This is tomorrow morning now. And this is the latest long-term HRRR run here. And here's what's going on. Low pressure coming out in the plain states. There's going to be an incredible amount of energy that develops tomorrow towards our west. That's where the Storm Prediction Center is calling for this moderate risk, right? Or widespread severe weather. The thing holding it in place, and Maxwell, I'm not sure if he's on here, but he asked a great question yesterday around the cap in the atmosphere. And we talked about that. It's when typically it gets colder as you go up in the atmosphere and storms can explode into that easily. But what happens and what's going to happen is there's a real nice little sliver of some warm air aloft. So warmer air sliver that comes in up above us, and the clouds keep rising and then they hit that. That's called a cap on the atmosphere. And basically you have to wait for that either to erode or the warm air to go away for these clouds to continue growing into thunderstorms. If it doesn't, you don't get storms. Clouds cannot go above a certain level and they can't form thunderstorms. And so you get quiet weather. So a lot of big severe weather outbreaks, a lot of times it's kind of contingent on a cap breaking or that warm air going away or the updraft to be violent enough that it can punch through that warm air like it doesn't care, and then it heads up into that cold air and explodes into a huge cumulonimbus cloud, right? And I mentioned to Maxwell that I didn't think that was going to be at play here locally tomorrow. I still don't think that's going to be at play here locally. I just think most of the energy and most of the actions out towards the west where they are at play with the cap in the atmosphere, okay? So this is why forecasts vary so much with this system, right? Last system was kind of a slam dunk. We knew we were going to get 2 waves of rain. This one's completely different in terms of you've got this cap out here, and some of the models want to break it. And once it breaks, you get explosion of thunderstorms because the instability is off the charts. But a lot of the models want to keep that cap in place in a lot of spots, meaning the atmosphere is ready to go. It's ready to explode, and it doesn't because it can't, because there's a sliver of warm air it can't punch through, all right? So what we've seen in the modeling is if you joined me last night, we were looking at the models, and there was basically nothing across the Midwest until you got way out towards the west. And today, there's some signs that some of the modeling are indicating that we are going to punch through that cap out towards the west. And what I mean by that on radar, this is tomorrow midday. It's starting to punch some thunderstorms out of nowhere in the areas of Illinois. This one in particular, the models have kind of picked up on. This would be early afternoon. It brings some downpours through here, but nothing severe. The severe stuff would be out towards the west. The one thing that we need to watch is this right here. This has been picked up in the models. It's a small area, but this is an intense cluster of storms that the HRRR continues to think is going to develop tomorrow as it breaks through the cap out in western Illinois. And these would be storms that go from 0 to 60 in a hurry. These would probably have tornadoes with it, very large hail. If this were to happen, right? This isn't truth. This is what a computer model forecast thinks is going to happen. But it's been consistent with this. The good news is for us, it keeps all of it west, which kind of leans in line with what I'm thinking is that most of it's still going to be west. I don't see the real push of energy here locally. So hopefully that's the case. But tomorrow afternoon, this is the reason for the severe threat. I know it doesn't look like much, but this is a lot. These will be some big storms if they pop. And again, indication is that they will. And they would stay west of us as of right now. We get more storms to pop as that cap erodes out towards the north. For us, not a lot going on. I mean, I got to say, we might get a shower or two off of this. We might get a downpour early in the day. It's really tomorrow night into Wednesday that has always been my concern, and that continues to be my concern. The timing's not ideal for big severe weather around here, but I think there'll be enough energy left over. And one of the reasons is Tuesday night, our low temperature. So we're probably going to hit in the 70s tomorrow, right? Tuesday night, I don't think our temperature drops. We may have a low Tuesday night into Wednesday morning of 70. I'm going to go upper 60s just to be safe. It's going to feel, we've got humidity with this. It's going to feel muggy. It's going to feel summer-like. I mean, tomorrow night is going to be really warm. If you have not tried your AC out just to make sure it's working, you may need it tomorrow night. Isn't that crazy? We had snowflakes in the air a couple days ago. April, everybody. But anyway, that being said, we're going to start Wednesday morning and we're going to have, Tuesday night on the unstable side. So we'll have plenty of energy for any storms to move in, especially at night. So Tuesday night, Wednesday is when I am concerned about us locally. Not a huge concern, but we do have a threat for some decent storms if they can develop and move in. So here's what the modeling said. This is Tuesday night. It's this cluster. Again, this could not develop. If this does develop, it heads over us. We have a chance for storms Tuesday night. And then this is the one I was talking about yesterday. The way I thought it would evolve is eventually aligned with that cold front. So here's the time frame of concern would be Wednesday morning, especially, and then maybe some more pops getting into Wednesday midday and early afternoon. Any of those could be severe. That would carry a wind damage threat with it. Still tornado threat with those because there's a ton of shear in the atmosphere. But that would be it right there. Would be Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. That's when I think we'll get the meat and potatoes of our storms. Are they going to be huge and widespread? I think they'll be scattered. I don't think everyone's going to see severe weather with this. But again, that is my thinking around this. I continue to think that tomorrow is going to be on the quiet side. The potential's there. Keep that in mind. Potential's there tomorrow for explosive thunderstorm develop. It favors further west, all right, but the potential's there for that. So can this still change tomorrow? Absolutely. But again, my gut with this system says that tomorrow we're going to be okay. We're going to have some storms around. Hopefully they, stay west of us. And then we would deal with storms Tuesday night, Wednesday. That's when we should be concerned about storms coming in. Okay. So that's it. Yes, they're going to be very fast moving, Deb. I see your question on there. There's lots of jet stream energy with this. These will probably be moving, I would say 55 to 65 miles per hour. So they'll be very quick movers, especially the ones that pop up tomorrow. Okay. All right, so let's see what we've got going on in terms of questions. Brianna says, please keep them somewhere else. Nothing worrisome during the school day. Susie, we'll have to keep an eye on the radar. I don't think so. I mean, these storms are going to pop probably early afternoon towards our west. There may be a morning little chunk that comes through here, like right in here. The HRRR's talking about maybe this coming through. And this would develop tomorrow morning. It's really tomorrow afternoon and evening that things really get going if it can break that cap to the west. And as long as they develop west and stay west, I think we'll be fine, right? So I don't see anything worrisome during the school day tomorrow. And again, tomorrow morning's model run may show something completely different, but I still have the same feelings I had yesterday on this, and that it's all going to be west. Maxwell, it is. The atmosphere's loaded. He's talking about significant tornado parameter, which I've got on here. Here you go. So this is what he's talking about. The significant tornado parameter factors in, it's an equation that factors in a bunch of variables with instability, shear, all that stuff, basically to tell you where could you have significant tornadoes. And watch how this spikes tomorrow. Right there, northern Illinois especially. This is tomorrow afternoon. That's with those storms that are expected to develop. It's very high over our region as well. But again, does all this stay west? Does it develop west and stay there? Then it's not a problem for us. Problem is if for some reason they develop a little bit further south, or they develop, God willing, over the region tomorrow, then we'd have a different problem. And then you can see with the actual frontal boundary, there's pretty messy with that. There's still going to be a tornado threat when that front passes on Wednesday. So again, it's really hard for me to sit here and look at all these different models and look at these parameters, which are through the roof. But this is a tough call on this. But again, I'm going with my gut on this. I think most of the activity is going to be west of us tomorrow, but the potential's there. Okay, let's see. So Christopher, good question. How's the weather looking around 3 tomorrow in Hammond? As of right now, Christopher, I think it'll be fine. I think there'll be some powerhouse storms developing out towards the west, but let's keep it there for right now. Let's see what else we got here. Some talk about the tornado surveys. That's at the beginning of the broadcast if you got that. Let's see. Ann says, do you have a time? No, Ann, there's no real time on this. The best threat for severe weather tomorrow would be, again, I think it stays west. It'd be right here in the afternoon. So we're talking anytime after 2 o'clock, this is expected to develop. But it's expected to be west of us. So we would just get kind of the clippings off of that. The models have been picking up on this little cluster in the morning right here. It looks to be subsevere, though. This would be, late morning into midday, and then you get this explosion in the afternoon. So we'll see. Ashley, I'm glad that helps. I certainly hope that helps you for sure. Let's see. Crafty Julie joining us on our YouTube channel says the bigger one that develops in the west, is that more early Wednesday morning or more during daytime? So that's more during daytime tomorrow. That's more towards afternoon. So this is morning right here. Here's your afternoon develop. So early afternoon, mid-afternoon, something may be going on to our west. Those would be real nasty storms if they develop. And again, the last thing I want to see is this model changes overnight and tomorrow morning. All of a sudden, they're developing over us. I don't think that's going to happen. Again, most of the forcing with this low pressure is west of us. So I continue to hint at it's west of us for tomorrow. Christopher, man, I think so. That's a good question. I didn't want to go too long-term in this, but he says, do you think it's safe to finally put away the snow gear? That system, Christopher, that we were looking at last night on the GFS kind of fizzles itself out in terms of snow. It brings colder air. We still have some shots of some colder air coming in here for April, but overall, man, I really feel like that's going to be the case for sure. Tim says, here's to mascot and Storm. I'm going to take some extra probiotics tomorrow. Make sure I have good gut health. Thanks, Tim. That's awesome. Let's see, Linda, I think you're going to encounter some storms Wednesday morning with the actual front that goes by. Are they severe? That's the big question. But that's when the actual frontal passage is going to happen. And I think there will be some storms with that. So it looks a little stormy. But again, you could thread the needle. They could be west of us. They could be east of us. They'll be pretty fast moving. Skylar, good question. Is the overnight threat high for Tuesday? That's a great question. Hold on. Let's drop my pen. I don't know where my pen went. Oh, here it is. Okay. Anyway, you didn't even see that because I have her comment up. I totally just dropped my pen down on the ground and couldn't, it rolled under my desk. So Tuesday night, our threat it's not high, but it's there. In my mind, our severe weather threat is Tuesday night into Wednesday. It would be with the frontal passage, all right, out ahead of the front, kind of what's left over. It's not incredibly high. I don't think it's as high as last time, but there still is good energy with this. The thing that's different with this storm is we have humidity. The last one, our dew points got up to like 62, 63. You remember that's one of the key ingredients for severe weather is having moisture around and having high humidity. And we haven't really had that yet with any events this season. We had a little bit again with the last one, but we've overcompensated it with other things. But with this one, we've got humidity. Again, I think our low Tuesday night is in the upper 60s to near 70. It is going to feel like summer tomorrow night. And that's how we start on Wednesday. Kind of amazing. Susie, that's funny. Yeah, don't put your snowblowers away yet, please. Caitlin says 7-year-old storm anxiety when sirens go off, few nights ago, it was immediate pain. I know. I hope that doesn't happen either. Caitlin, I don't see this being a big, I don't see this happening. I really don't. I continue to think everything's going to be west of us tomorrow for sure. That's funny. Good comment. Chris, I like your comment. That's funny. Michelle, that's a good question. Let's check the winds on Wednesday. It's going to be breezy. I actually haven't checked to see how breezy we're getting. It shouldn't be like the last system, but there's going to be good wind energy. This low pressure is going to develop. So that means we'll have strengthening winds. So this is tomorrow. All those gusts are thunderstorm gusts. And here's Wednesday. Again, we get gusty winds in the morning with the cold front. And then as it's moving by 20 to 35, nothing crazy with this one. It will be windy, but we're not talking 50 to 60 mile per hour wind warnings or anything like that. Look at the temperatures too. So here's tonight. We kind of go back into the mid to upper 40s, and then watch tomorrow. Once that warm front goes through, we're in the 70s, and then notice how we kind of stay there. This model in particular has us into upper 60s tomorrow night. So there you go. I could see 70 for a low though. And then that cold front goes by right there, and we drop back into the 50s. No real cold air behind us. It just turns cooler. So we really are in good shape. Easter weekend looks great still. I mean, it looks amazing. We're going to rebound nicely behind us. So there you go. Okay, Michelle, you're welcome. I think that's it. All right, everybody. I appreciate you guys joining us. I hope this helped. Hopefully put your mind at ease. We'll be tracking it. Tomorrow morning is a very crucial model run. We'll get new data, new information tomorrow morning around 6 a.m. So I'll have that. We'll have a post out for you tomorrow morning if anything's changed. Again, I think most of it's going to be west of us tomorrow. Can we get clipped by a shower or storm or two? Sure. The only problem that I'm going against is that our atmosphere is going to be loaded. So, hopefully all these stay below severe limits and everything stays west. But and that's what I continue to think. But tomorrow morning we'll have an important update for you. We'll have it on the radio side of things too. Okay. All right, guys. Happy Monday. We're doing it. We're getting through the week. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye.